Think about the 5 people you text the most. Like right now, just picture them. According to this ancient piece of wisdom, you aren't just talking to those people, you're literally becoming them.
Yeah, which is kind of a terrifying thought when you really stop and think about it.
It really is. So, okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to today's deep dive into a reflective guide titled Day 20. Our mission today is to look at the invisible mechanics of how the people in our orbit actually shape our identity. And the whole central premise comes from Proverbs 13.20.
Right, which basically says, walking with the wise makes you wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm.
Yeah.
It establishes this fundamental law of human gravity, I guess you could call it. Like no one walks through life in a vacuum, right? Proximity is incredibly powerful. The people closest to us are actively shaping our daily decisions, our habits, and really the entire trajectory of our lives.
And to really understand why that proximity matters so much, we have to look at how influence actually works. I like to think of your inner circle like a thermostat, not a thermometer.
Oh, I like that.
Right, because they don't just, reflect your current temperature. They actually set the climate of your whole life. They're either passively compounding your emotional wealth, or they are quietly charging you hidden fees every single time you hang out.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is how subtle that fee really is. Because we are fundamentally wired for social mirroring.
Wait, social mirroring, like copying people?
Exactly. We subconsciously mimic the emotional states of those around us just to maintain social bonds. It's totally natural. But the source material emphasizes that unhealthy company slowly changes our values without us even noticing the drift.
Right, it just sneaks up on you.
It does. You spend enough time in a toxic environment and suddenly being drawn toward gossip or dishonesty or just constant complaining, it just feels like baseline reality.
Oh, man. I mean, I think we've all had that experience where you grab coffee with a certain friend and an hour later you're completely outraged about things you didn't even know you cared about.
Totally.
Next thing you know, you're fuming over the politics of, like, someone else's homeowners association.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Because your brain just adapts to the environment it's placed in. But a true friend operates in a completely different way. The guide points out that a real companion prioritizes your character over your immediate comfort, you know?
Oh, that's a great distinction.
Yeah, they celebrate your wins without a trace of jealousy, and they actually love you enough to correct you when they see you drifting off course.
Okay, wait, I'm hung up on something here, though. If the rule is basically just avoid bad influences, isn't that a recipe for living in an echo chamber? Because here's where it gets really interesting. The guide brings up a historical counterexample.
Right, right.
Jesus notoriously hung out with tax collectors, outcasts, rule breakers. How is that not a direct contradiction to this whole avoiding fools premise?
Yeah, that is the big question. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really comes down to the direction of the influence. The text makes a vital distinction here. Jesus spent time with sinners to save them, not to adopt their way of living.
Ah.
He influenced them without letting them compromise his own holiness.
So it's not about living in this protective bubble where you only talk to perfect people.
Not at all. The underlying lesson is to love everyone, absolutely. But you have to be fiercely protective of who gets a VIP pass to shape your daily reality.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now? If our friends are subtly rewiring our brains, how do we actually stop the negative drift? Well, the guide introduces a highly practical exercise. It's basically an audit of your top 5.
Yeah, you literally write down the names of your 5 closest relationships to evaluate their true impact.
Which sounds intense, but so necessary.
It is. And doing this audit requires 3 specific actions based on what you find. First, acknowledging and thanking a godly friend or positive influence. Second, reconnecting with a mature mentor who challenges your growth.
And the third.
Or third, and this is the heavy lift, creating healthy boundaries with someone who pulls you away from your best self. It's crucial to understand the psychology here. Creating boundaries isn't just about avoiding drama, it's about protecting your cognitive load and your emotional bandwidth.
Because if they're always venting, it affects you physically.
Precisely. When a friend constantly pulls you into cynical venting, they are firing and wiring your brain's reward center to actually seek out negativity in your own life.
You're literally training your brain to look for problems.
Really are. But the audit also forces you to look in the mirror because it's a two-way street. It is impossible to attract loyal, dependable people if you aren't bringing those exact same traits to the table yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you have to actually be the fund you're looking for. It all just boils down to this single, unshakable takeaway. The direction of your life is determined by the company you keep.
Which raises a really important question, though, and it's something I think we should leave you with today. In today's highly connected world, we don't just spend time with people physically.
Oh, that's true.
Think about the digital company you keep, the creators, the influencers, and especially the podcasts you consume every single day. Are those digital voices acting as invisible friends, silently shaping your values without you even realizing it?
Wow. Yeah, that voice in your earbuds is basically your writing shotgun in your life. Definitely something to chew on as you evaluate your own inner circle.